السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Masjid Carpark podcast, episode 40. If he's kept the previous bits in, you'll find it interesting. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Masjid Carpark podcast, episode 40.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mate, it's been a long time.
Yeah, busy. Alhamdulillah. We had one podcast at the beginning of Ramadan, but
The beginning or during?
it was during sort of the first,
It's
second
just
week.
one big blur.
Yeah. Subhanallah.
It's been
How
what
you
an
been?
interesting few months it's been.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, been all right. Life goes on. Tired, but good.
Alhamdulillah.
In a good way. In a good way.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Good.
Ramadan, how was your Ramadan? Can you believe it's how long has it been since Ramadan now? Almost
It's
a
been
month.
3 weeks. 3 weeks and 3
Wow.
days.
How'd you find it this year? No, non-COVID Ramadan, how was it?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Like, I think it's going to be a while till, because like, for example, today, this is like Friday, where are we now? Friday, the 27th, we're recording, 27th of May. And today, one friend, like, he didn't come for Jummah. He said, me and the family got COVID. So hearing all these cases constantly.
Yeah, there's a few going
Like,
around again.
where's so-and-so? No, they got COVID. They're away from the mosque. And then there's a brother today, and he had COVID. So, like, it's sort of lingering still, and it's still getting around.
Are
And
you over it? I'm over it.
yeah, we're all over it. But the thing is, it exists. Whether we're over it or not, it's still, people are getting sick. People are getting, families are getting sick. Kids are getting sick in some families. So it's still there. And then as soon as you hear, it's not over yet. Like, it's not, like, it hasn't disappeared.
No, it's just there's been
Yeah.
so much other news that COVID has taken a complete back burner. Like so much going on in the world.
Yeah, it's taking a back
Did
seat,
you
that's
find
for sure.
Ramadan all right? I struggled with Ramadan this year.
Yeah, same here.
I really struggled. COVID Ramadan was good because there's
Yeah.
nothing to do. You're at home and things like that. But just to do, I struggled with doing Amal in Ramadan.
Yeah, same. This Ramadan, I don't know why.
I
was at
really,
the
really
mosque.
struggled.
I was doing durus every day and all that. And
MashaAllah. I wasn't.
No, as imam, you got no choice. You got to lead Isha and you got to be in the mosque. And
You have to be in the mosque as imam?
you know what? I still had the after effects of that second bout of COVID. Just between Umrah and Ramadan, I had COVID.
Yep.
And that COVID bout like lingered on pretty much the whole of Ramadan and still after it. Like it still was there. Like I was feeling like I felt physically weak and what?
I was about to say it's like an ex-wife.
Yeah. It's
But I
just,
shouldn't. I
like a
shouldn't.
bad
We won't go
smell.
there.
It doesn't leave.
No,
and
I didn't say
it just
bad smell.
Pops,
You
it
said
pops up
bad
every now
smell.
and then, and just like, alhamdulillah, I would say I'm back like 90-80% physically and so forth. But yeah, that's like, I don't know. It was it was very hard. So I ended up praying Tarawih in chairs, like sitting down because I feel
You
tired.
did?
Yeah, like I was fatigued, like I was tired.
Yeah, I was very tired.
Yeah, like that's probably why I'm not saying Ramadan is Ramadan and it's got its enjoyments and nur and so forth, but because of that, like it couldn't take full benefit and
See, I didn't get
Yeah.
COVID. I was a little bit sick, but I just struggled.
yeah,
Just in terms of doing any extra amal than what's required.
yeah, exact same thing. Like I used to give the dars before the Tarawih, 20 minutes. That tired me. That I prayed Isha, just had to go to my office, close the door, and
Not
Just-
pray tarawih.
yeah, sometimes I'll just sit.
Really?
Sit in the chair. Just I was tired, just from leading Isha and 20 minutes of dars before it. Like I was actually just run down.
So all your musallis that thought Sheikh is going into his office to do some special amal for Ramadan.
I did special.
He was
amal,
actually just
like,
chilling
I
out
slept
watching
according-
YouTube.
I slept according to Sunnah in my office, but
Straight after Isha.
After Isha, no. I mean, I tried it. Then I was praying on a chair or praying sitting down. It was very weird. It was just fatigue. Like I was just tired. Like you're fasting the whole day. The fastings are pretty easy. They're short.
Yeah,
But,
mashallah.
But like even then, that fast plus it was just that. Like I said, the COVID was lingering and the after effects of
Do
it.
you take much time to prepare for your durus?
A little bit.
Careful how you answer this.
A little bit. No. I spend probably, because it's like 20 minutes, so I probably spent. After a while, you don't spend as much time, but like when you're doing it for a while. But basically, because I was going through a book, so I would spend about about an hour on it, preparing it.
Okay.
20 minutes. roughly. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't spend much time preparing for my durus.
Yeah. Mashallah. Yeah. No, I mean, other than that, Ramadan was a bit of a, like, it was because of that, it didn't, like, to do anything extra in Ramadan is the time to do extra and push yourself. I was just trying to get the basics, like.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the basics, get my salat right, and get some Quran in and so forth, but not a lot. Like
I didn't get much Quran in at all.
Yeah, I compared to before, very little. So I'll accept, inshallah.
Shouldn't we be doing more as we get older?
Yeah, I mean, like 50 is a new 30, but so 43 is a new 25. I don't know, but it's
I'm not 50. Would you get 50?
45. Sorry, 45.
Excuse me.
But yeah, halfway to 50. Subhanallah. But no, alhamdulillah. I mean, Ramadan it was nice to see the community, see everybody.
Yeah,
and
mashallah, that was
we
a
had
good
fun.
thing.
There's a fundraiser for our mosques there, and
how'd you go? How much did?
It was good. It was the first time actually I was on the stage doing the firing up the crowd.
Really?
Yeah. It was the first time that I did it. Yeah, like
did they forget fired up or did they leave?
They were very happy. Like the community, different people came to, so very happy about it, and I'll accept, inshallah. And
I mean,
yeah, I was calling out where are the crypto bros? Where I share your crypto, your Bitcoin profits. We're waiting for it.
I'm not talking. I don't want to talk about crypto. We're not discussing it.
Yeah, it's going into oblivion. Yeah, I mean, I finished an essay on it. I don't want to hear anti-crypto essay. I don't want to hear it. I don't know about it. The anti-crypto manifesto.
As far as I'm concerned,
why it's wrong. So I'm.
But there's different schools of thought on that. So let's make that clear.
There's two schools.
That's right.
The crypto bros and the the muftis.
No, not all muftis are on why it's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, and
let's be clear here.
This manifesto is to break their.
You are no longer my sheikh.
This is to break their arguments.
I'm no longer.
Those pro-crypto muftis.
I'm no longer coming to you for advice.
Yeah, no, it's a research topic, so I'm doing it. So
did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
You just enjoyed it because you're like, yeah, I'm right. Let me prove I'm right.
No, I don't know why I did it. I have a view. I have a view on it, and and I'm strongly inclined towards that it's not, because there's so many problems with it. The more you look deeper into it, the more things come out. There's problems with it.
I'm just gonna start like shaking.
Yeah, so it's not a fatwa. It's a research topic into why it's haram.
That's correct. It is not a fatwa.
The title was, "Is it even halal, bro?"
Are you serious?
That's my title. I took out the bro out of it for my teacher, and the mufti is going to read it. But that was my original title. Is it even halal, bro?
And why didn't you leave it in? It would have been good.
Yeah, I said it's a bit too personalized than too.
But that's the whole point of it.
Yeah, inshallah, it could come back. I just call it, "Is it even halal?" Now it's just called, "Is it even halal?"
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to read it. I don't know about it. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, ignorance of the law is not excuse, but anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm going with ignorance is bliss.
So sort of...
it's not bliss.
So at the moment, like, that's sort of taking a lot of... Now we doing the COVID vaccine, writing on that. So it's more of an academic exercise as opposed to...
Oh, okay. I was like,
sort of... So, yeah, like we practice fatwa writing of fatwas that are already been
for your course.
Yeah, so they've already been answered. But to show the methodology, the sources that you use, like you have to dig through books, right? So you have to prepare referencing of where you're getting your answer from, because you're walking on a well-trodden path. You're not plucking things out of the air, right? And you're not going to find crypto in the Quran directly, right?
If you did, I'd be high-fiving you.
The principles are there. The principles are there, but the principles are there for the whole of Sharia, but like you have to dig through the sources. The Imams already walked the path. They've already explained things. It's an elaborate, complex system when it comes to law that you'll have to work within the framework of the last 1,400 years of scholarship. You can't just go like wing it and throw everything into as some people have done. They sort of like just ignore everything and said, form their own view just like that.
Yeah, but
there's contradictions.
There was no crypto in the last 1,400 years of scholarship. There was nothing. There wasn't
fiat currency as we know it in time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like paper, plastic money. So
but there were coins. There was currency.
Yeah, there's gold and silver coin, and there were then in history like fils, which is like copper coins, were introduced at one point. So that's like a fiat currency. It's a metal, but it existed. And then you've got Then plastic paper money came out about 50 years ago.
Yeah, so it took time for all of these things to get adopted, right? And then fatwas had to be written for it, whatever. So it could be,
like
what if crypto gets adopted tomorroor?
If the
Like
whole
El Salvador.
yeah, so
adopted
well, I feel sorry for the El Salvadorians. The Bitcoin that they bought last year, they're half now, pretty much. Like you don't do that with people's. It's not a currency. My argument, it's not a currency. It's not wealth. It's actually worth exactly zero. Only people are in it to make a quick buck. You're taking other people, the greater fool that's coming in and putting in. That's where you're making the money. Like there's no actual business there. There's nothing. There's no use case. There's no benefit.
Okay, I don't want to get into this. I can't. This is
you
too
started.
much.
You want to?
Yeah. And I was just trying to argue
anyway.
a certain point, but
so
that's okay.
Ramadan. So what happened was Mufti Abdul Rahman came. Abdul Rahman Yusuf from
what
UK.
a legend.
Yeah, mashallah.
What
we had
a
chance
treat,
to take him around.
to be
and
around.
He did a lot of programs. I hope we didn't tire him because we sort of I pushed him a bit in terms of programs and things.
You had a lot of programs.
Oh, come on, don't make that. We also give him time to rest, and you decide. I gave him time the first Monday. He arrives on Sunday. Monday, give the time to rest, and then let's go to the city. That's what this guy. He took him to the. Then I had to go along as well, but we enjoyed it. It was good. It was a good.
It was funny.
Federation Square, the Yarra,
and we went to what is it? NGIV? No, not the NGIV. Acme. And do you remember when we walked through the Australian Centre for Moving Image? And then I'm standing there and I was talking. I was like, "It's got the car for Mad Max in here." Yeah, and he's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "It's a movie. It's an amazing movie." Right? Yeah. I go, "The Mad Max car's in there. Are you interested in seeing it?" And he just stared at me like I was a bit retarded. And he's like, "No." I was like, "All right, let's move on."
Yeah, it's like a place of ziyarat, man. Like for Australians, like that's a childhood memory.
I just remember him looking at me, just going, "Is this guy for real?"
Yeah, like so that was.
But he was good value.
Yeah, mashallah.
Like I didn't expect him to be so chilled.
Yeah, mashallah. I mean,
like mashallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
He was good value.
So and I learned.
He met my mate Jason.
I learned. I'm not sure if this is private or not, but he eats meat twice a week. So I really, he's a mainly vegetarian, not vegetarian, but don't take it like as a fatwa. Like Shaykh Hamza Yusuf said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's a recording of it, you'll find it online. He talks about he was like a semi-vegetarian. He goes, he ate meat, but like, guys, people become Muslim and like, here's your first plate of biryani. Like that's how we introduced him to Islam. He's welcome to Islam biryani.
You've got to slaughter a sheep,
even
if you're a vegetarian.
Yeah, what are you talking about? So like we know the hadith. That
but you do have to slaughter a sheep even if you're a vegetarian.
Yeah.
You can't say what you're talking
it's
about.
Not you're a vegetarian out of your diet, not out of some religious conviction. It's not a belief that I don't eat any animal and I'm against people eating animals. We're not against that. So, but speaking of which, so what's happened? What happened was that I'm actually currently vegetarian.
Here we go.
I am pretty much.
Here we go. This is why you find him so nimble on his feet.
Practically, no. I've lost a total since the Umrah before Ramadan until now. Like last 2.5 months, I lost 12 kilos, roughly 12 and a half.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
I can see it. You're just wasting away to nothing, bro.
Yeah. So I actually, it takes a long time to be on the track of weight loss. Like if you're thinking like it's a month, 2 months, 3 month thing, I started on my weight loss journey.
We've got photos of him in front of the mirror in his sunnah pants, side vision, front vision.
It's a side
we'll publish them at the end.
Yeah, the before and after pictures. No.
Everyone's waiting for that one.
Yeah. So so what happened last November? A brother came to me, basically told me off. So then I started.
Tell him what he said to you.
He goes, I can't follow you in prayer because you're not a role model for me or something like that. Very direct brother, brother from Hyderabad, very good brother, mashallah, very direct. But he emphasized it, and then he
said
he organized a trainer for me to train online.
Mashallah.
So I started exercising. Then that guy was asking. So that took, but it was up and down, and I was getting the scheduling wasn't working 100% because I got so much to do in the times that guy because he's overseas in the Middle East. So. Anyway, whatever. It wasn't 100%, but the journey. But the guy kept on hassling me.
Let's keep going with the journey. It
Yeah,
sounded like
yeah,
a story.
yeah.
But the journey was real, and
You
I was steadfast
Yeah,
on it.
it kept on falling down and then get up again. Eye of the tiger.
And then look at the photo that's hanging on the mirror again.
Yeah, keep going, mate. Keep going. No. Look, it was like his reminders or his like kept on hassling me, like sort of to keep moving, and it wasn't 100%. I was into it. Then I went for Umrah, and I ended up in the room with a brother, like there's a brother staying in the same room, and this brother used to eat twice a day. So he used to skip lunch, and then we'll have it like an early dinner. So just skipping the meal and just in Umrah you're active. So then I came back and I got COVID and I got sick and I was in bed for 10 days. I was out of it.
So this was like forced weight loss.
Yeah. Then Ramadan came and I kept that habit of, all right, suhoor, I'll just have a glass of water.
Or?
That's it. Or a bit of Pepsi Max.
Or a can of Pepsi Max.
Yeah, for suhoor. And so I fulfill the sunnah of suhoor.
What with Pepsi Max?
But at least have something as a niyat of getting the barakah of suhoor. And I did that the whole Ramadan. So I didn't actually have suhoor, I think once, twice. But other than that, I didn't have suhoor. Then as soon as Ramadan finished, then I basically decided that, I don't know why.
I need to do a drum roll for this. Get ready for it, folks.
I'm going to start juicing. Only juice for 60 days. So there's an Aussie guy who did this made a documentary like 10 years ago.
Give him a plug.
Joe Cross. He what's it called?
We're telling the story, man.
Fat, sick, and nearly dead. And it's a really good documentary. And just started to, but even before, I started before even knowing about the documentary. So I just started juicing. So basically I have 80% vegetables, 20%.
But it's only juice that you drink.
20%, 80% juice, vegetable juice, 20% fruit juice. And nothing else. And I added green tea. So it's so weird because I love my coffees and teas and so forth.
Yeah,
like
man.
2, 3, 4 times a day. And I've been juicing now for 3 weeks, but in the last 5, 6 days.
It sounds like you're on some hectic drug or something like that.
Last 5, 6 days. The first week was very hard. First 3 days was a killer. 5 days, 6 days. Then it starts normal. Once your nuffs accepts.
So all you've had in the last 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
No. So the first 2 weeks definitely was all juice.
That's it.
So I haven't had meat since Eid.
What if you make the meat into a juice?
I haven't had meat since Eid. That sounds gross.
Just put it in the blender.
I haven't had meat since Eid. I haven't had bread since Eid. I haven't had fat since Eid. The most fat I had is I had an avocado. So what happened was about 2 weeks into it, that's only fat I had. I haven't had nuts. I haven't had dairy at all. Now I'll explain to you. So what happened was that about 2 weeks of juicing.
Too much for my brain right now, man.
Then I said, this is like I couldn't sleep properly at night time because my stomach was grumbling, and I was getting dehydrated because the juicer, it takes out a lot of the fiber. There is a lot of fiber still left, but there's a lot of fiber that's gone with the stuff that you take out. So I was getting then I was checking online, why am I getting so thirsty? Because I couldn't sleep because I was getting so thirsty. It was dehydrating.
Wow.
So I would have the juice, I'll have water.
Actually. I'm really thirsty tonight.
And then I would come back. Anyway, then what happened was after so I started adding vegetables, whole vegetables. That was like feeling like a break in the diet. So I would make.
What do you mean whole vegetables? What didn't you have like 20% veggies anyway?
No, juice. That was all juice as well.
Oh, so you're starting to eat veggies now?
Yeah. So I started boiling broccoli and mixed veggies and you buy those frozen veggies, and so I started boiling them, put some salt on it. Like that was like feeling I was breaking the diet. So I started introducing veggies. So I still haven't had meat and bread or anything like that. So I started adding veggies. So I'm having like mixed veggies and different spinach. I'll make like a spinach curry. So no oil. I don't use oil. I just spray the pan so it doesn't burn it. And then I cook spinach in like garam masala. And I said like an Aussie.
You said it like, not even an Aussie, you said it like straight from Pauline Hanson's Electric.
Yeah. From Griffith. From
Griffith. You're her next door neighbour.
Where's she from?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You sounded like you were a next door neighbour.
So from some garam masala.
Pauline.
Garam masala. And
where's that burqa you used in the parliament?
Some turmeric. just sprinkled a bit just to give it a flavor. I realized as South Asians, as Desis, we're extremely spoiled for flavor. I'm sorry to other nationalities, but have nothing on the variety and flavors that our forefathers came up with. The Mughal Empire from the royal sufra that they came up with. There's no. I appreciate all types of cuisine. Hence, I appreciate everything Italian,
Mashallah.
Turkish, Arab, whatever. But when it comes to
different types of flavor,
the variety of flavor, the palette of flavor that we have been raised upon, I realized that only after.
Are you saying this only because you've been juicing for so long and you're missing it all?
I'm missing it, but I also appreciate the complexity of the flavors that they came up with, man. And then so what happens? Like then I started like adding. Like,
I get it.
I was adding like ginger. Oh, that's what ginger is. Like I started to have a deeper appreciation for the whole palette, the rainbow of the flavors, the the gourmet.
Bro, you need to get yourself a big bowl of biryani right now.
You know, it is. I really no. You start to take because we just take it for granted. Then you put garlic, just spinach and garlic and a bit of garam masala and turmeric, and you just sort of fry it. And the garlic and spinach, wow. Like
you know what you sound like?
Made in heaven.
You know what you sound like right now? You know, before Ramadan, like an hour before you break fast, you're sitting with your mate and you're talking about different types of food, and you just start off with like a donut and then you end up with some gourmet thing because of hunger.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel like you're really,
like
you're really
you go
missing
shopping
it.
1 hour before like iftar, and
that's the worst.
You buy like 6 drinks and
that's the worst.
never go shopping at iftar time.
Well, when you're hungry,
your nafs is just. And then you started to realize, okay. You know the weird things. I should drink so much tea, and I get a headache, the coffee headache, whatever, or caffeine withdrawal. The juicing acid does cleanse you. Whatever you
is
want.
that gone? Because I get a caffeine.
I forget to have tea.
Caffeine withdrawal.
I've only had green tea for the last 2 weeks. You forget that you need it like a caffeine.
See, that's
beverage.
fantastic. That's excellent.
Yeah, like you forget that you need a caffeine beverage.
Inshallah.
2 days, I wouldn't have any tea or coffee or anything like that, and that's like. It's not even like part of your system. It really does whatever you want to call the juicing, because I'm supposed to do it for 60 days. But whatever,
that's pretty full on.
Whatever you call it, it works. Like it does cleanse out the system. Like it's sort of like it resets your body. And
right.
the other thing I want to say was that the nutrient level, because you're having so much juice and so much veggies. Like I'm having a lot of veggies now. I'm cooking the veggies, boiling. Like for lunch, very simple. I had my mum just cooked like you buy these steam packets.
What does your mum think about this?
She's happy because she's worried about my health, and she said you were bloated before, your face was puffed up. Like just give me a confidence boost. He goes before you were like your face was like really like puffed from. Just being fat.
I need to go past
you were really fat before.
Thanks, Mum.
Didn't want to say anything. But no, something along those lines, something insensitive, like a desi parent would say. But no, but it's actually, once you lock in your mind that you've got to do this, and I love meat, like protein you got to have every day. And subhanAllah, like...
So where does your protein come from?
I'm assuming from the juice. I mean, I don't have any. So I introduced like a couple of days ago, 2-3 days ago. I was making palak paneer. Yep. So I had to use. So
you need to translate palak paneer.
So it's spinach, like sort of like curry. It's pureed spinach curry with chili and a few other things.
And cheese.
And then Indian cottage cheese, not the normal cottage cheese. So I didn't have Indian cottage cheese. I don't know where you get it from, the Indian grocery or something, I guess. So instead I got halloumi and diced halloumi, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, the Indian cottage cheese doesn't do it for me, man.
Yeah, but it's made for palak paneer, and it's softer than halloumi a little bit. But halloumi works. So I introduced my first dairy, which is just little cubes of.
Did your body freak out?
No. I loved it. Like it was like.
What's gonna happen when you have meat? Like your body is gonna, like, just be. Chaos.
No, you can't introduce meat and bread and all that sort of heavy stuff. What you have to do is, like, for a few days before, as you're coming off this, you have soups, sort of more lighter, liquidy, sort of that's got meat and things in it, like, but soups, not like.
Yep, you're not supposed like a steak.
Yeah.
Well, I would be curious just to do a test run and just.
Probably make you sick. Yeah, it'll probably make you sick, but it's working. I mean, I've lost just in the last 3 weeks, I lost 6.5 kilos. So it's quick. That's quick. It could be a lot of water weight, a lot of them.
MashaAllah.
But it works, alhamdulillah. So, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Make dua that have istiqamat and...
Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa
you know
ta'ala
what-
give you istikhamat and smaller pants.
But what I realized is that like a vegetarian, like if you can, that Mufti Abdul Rahman inspired me a little bit, like because he said as a family they only eat meat twice a week.
Yeah, that surprised me. That really surprised me.
So
Living in the UK.
So that's good. Like I realized, oh yeah, you can make nice vegetarian dishes. Like you can be a little bit creative because you're chopping the vegetable yourself, and you know, like I made like an amazing avocado salad. Like I invented it. Like
What was in it? Here we go.
it's avocado, in the avocado half, right? Mash it up in there. Add onions, diced, like very little onions. Lemon juice. What else is there? Garlic, like garlic from the garlic paste.
Yeah, keep going.
Fresh garlic. What else? Paprika.
You had to go those spices, didn't you?
Yeah, I need the spices. What else was in there? Lemon, chopped coriander, like really mixed into it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Just like just a little avocado bowl or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Yeah. It was amazing. I mean, I have onion bread.
That was amazing.
I have onion bread all the time now.
That was amazing because you've been juicing for 12 days. For 2
That's what
weeks.
I'm saying. Vegetables are amazing. Like if you know how to, if you make and you start to get like different combos, you can with meat you can do very little. But
Come on, with meat you can do very little.
No, I'm saying in terms of combinations, you'll need other like with vegetables. There's so much variety, right? There's so many flavors and textures in vegetables. I'm serious. Like in meat, all right, you got chicken and beef and lamb, right? You can
but
cook it.
how many different ways can you do chicken and beef and lamb?
But with what?
Spices.
And vegetables. That's how it sort of works. Like you're cooking in different, but you can't.
No, I've never really.
Like now, I'm thinking my brain's working. Like, all right, do the avocado, sprinkle some pomegranate.
So welcome
pomegranate
to
seeds. You know,
this is the-
pomegranate like whatever you call them.
Yeah.
Seeds. You know, fresh cut it pomegranate, mix some into it, or instead of coriander, put parsley.
Bro, are you hungry right now?
A little bit.
I knew it.
A little bit. Yeah. So there you go.
this whole
Khalid's.
maybe you should do
half
it. Why don't you
avocado
do
shell,
why don't you do a
salad.
like a podcast, or not a a vlog of making a salad at home or something like that? And go, now here's one I made earlier.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you now. I've just shared my first recipe.
I want to see it on video.
There's
I
my
want to
first-
see that half avocado.
But there's so many variety of vegetables, so many flavors, textures. You know, it's amazing.
You're
Anyway,
hungry. You're so hungry right now.
not
It's
really. Not really. I'm having my water. I'm happy. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, right.
There's only 40.
Nothing like a good spag bog, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the first 3 days. Like my son was eating like a kufta curry, so
Oh,
he was like my
no.
mum sent, and he was sitting. Like I went to his room to watch him eat it. Like after this is of day 4 or something like that.
That's not
He
weird
was
at all.
he was looking at me. He's like 13. He's looking at me like you're a weirdo. He goes, what is going on here? Like I'm just staring and watching him.
Well, what do the kids think about this diet?
Vicariously enjoying it, watching him enjoying. You know.
So you're living through your son right now.
Yeah.
Some people
that
send their
passed.
sons off to holidays or adventures and things like that. You're just watching him eat a curry.
Well, that phase passed, and then it was like walking past the neighbor. I think they were cooking chips, and I smelled the chips. They're having outside. They were cooking some. They're having someone cook in the street. They cook biryani.
And
You know
can
those
smell it.
cartoons where the smoke comes and goes up your nose and you sort of float in the air. Like I could smell. I stopped in front of my house. I arrived.
What, is at your house? You can smell it from somewhere else.
I don't know where. I don't know who cooked, but I'm sure that my neighbors. It wasn't neighbors on the
Are you
left
sure
and
you
right.
weren't hallucinating?
It wafted down the street like to
You
my
weren't
house.
hallucinating?
No, I wasn't. So I smelt it. I said, "Oh, that's like wow, like that's a good biryani."
Did you go? Assalamu alaikum, the
Yeah.
local imam here.
Yeah, come and visit you.
Come to visit you at biryani
Yeah.
time.
So anyway,
Speaking of local imam, what about Shaykh Hamza Yusuf and Jordan Peterson? That guy is our international imam.
yeah, he's an amazing person. I mean, we can
Subhanallah.
disagree with some views and whatever, but that interview just shows
the Jordan Peterson and Shaykh Hamza Yusuf interview. That was a masterpiece.
Yeah, you can go to the podcast and listen.
That was a
Jordan
masterpiece.
Peterson's Peterson is appreciated by many Muslims. He encourages, whether he's actually a believer or anything or Christian, he's probably not a real Christian, but
We don't know that.
well, he's sort of like a
He
sort of
identifies
in
as a Christian.
Christian in philosophy,
Christian
but not in
philosophy.
belief. He hasn't really mentioned that he's like a believer. But I mean, he studied the Bible and all that sort of stuff. But like the Muhammad hijab one was good, and the Shaykh Hamza Yusuf one was like it was brilliant. It was a masterclass, and this is how you talk. You can tell the knowledge is there.
To intellectuals.
He's an intellectual. He's so well read that even Peterson had to like
Ask him names of authors and what is
he
his
goes, I don't
book.
know who that is, and just Shaykh Hamza Yusuf is so well read, and then the way he presented and articulated the ideas of Islam to him, and even just gave him dawahs directly, just because he goes, how do you reconcile between these great Abrahamic traditions like Islam, Judaism, and he said just become Muslim because you accept all the.
No, he said that. Shaykh Hamza Yusuf said that.
Yeah, that's what
To
I'm saying.
reconcile between these three is to become a Muslim.
Yeah, like it was like watch it yourselves and you can be your own judge. But it was so beautifully done, and like his and inshallah they'll have many more. And
I liked how he said about where he was in Berkeley, the center of it all, where it all began.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Berkeley's famous for
Everything.
Yeah, for like
Everything left, extreme left.
civil rights as well, but also all the weirdness as well. Anyway,
According to you.
yeah, no. But if you have a chance to watch it, it was such an enjoyable. It was 1 hour or 2 hours after it came out. Someone forwarded to me. I watched the whole thing just straight. It was a real enjoyable. And inshallah, people like Peterson and others as well. Inshallah, Allah give him hidayah. And like he really articulated academically and intellectually and understanding the Western intellectual tradition. Like he really knows his stuff. Shaykh Hamza Yusuf. No, Shaykh Hamza Yusuf. He knows even more than Peterson. Like he's on another level. So like some people think that Western education is just technical education, right? It's like if you know.
No, you've got the philosophy of Western education.
Yeah, that's what
got all those schools
I'm saying.
thoughts.
Like the underpinnings of Western civilization is not just technical advancement.
Yeah.
There's more to it as well. Most countries make that mistake. They think that if you do engineering and they have their whole educational system and is based. It's founded on an intellectual philosophy and so forth.
Yeah.
So there are overlaps with Muslims and Islamic traditions.
That's what Shaykh Hamza Yusuf said. A lot of the intellectual and the philosophy and the tradition of Western thought came from Islam, and
Not
he gave
just that,
examples of that.
Even the church, how it.
1300 in the 13th century. That's he was saying.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to reconcile Christianity with science. They had to lean on Imam Ghazali and Ibn Rushd and our greats, so they already done it. So anyway, it was worthwhile watch, and if you have time to watch and just see someone who's really on top. Yeah, we can disagree with people on issues, but you have to appreciate Shaykh Hamza Yusuf is a alim, number one. Number two, is an alim that he can make mistakes, but
I don't even know what issues you're talking about.
there are people that on certain things maybe commented, but that's very small to the amount of effort and work that he's done and output in terms of positive contributions.
No
to the Ummah.
one's like sinless or
Yeah,
mistake free
100
except for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yeah,
right?
except for the Anbiya alayhim salam, they are masoom, divinely protected from sin. But other than that, we're all fallible and we can make mistakes. But before we get to mistakes, or I'm not going to mention it here, but you have to appreciate what the person is and who that person is in the 90s.
And the effort they've put in.
Yeah, 30 decades of solid effort, in the contributing to Muslims. And there's so many lanes to cover. And he covered, he's covered like an area that very few can do. And him and the other person is Shaykh Abdul Hakim Murad.
I haven't heard anything
the
of Shaykh
UK.
Abdul Hakim Murad.
Oh, you have to listen to him. You'll enjoy. Those two, they are the quintessential Western Muslim academics who are ulama and who know the tradition of their the Western tradition really well to be able to articulate a Muslim path through it. Alhamdulillah.
It was quite amazing, some of the things he was saying. It actually made me want to. I've got to start reading a lot more.
Shaykh Hamza really pushes that point of reading.
Yeah,
a lot.
I really need to. Actually, they both do. Jordan Peterson does as well. To be able to read and write is one of the best things you can do to get your thoughts across on paper. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, to articulate. Like he's from such an academic background. Shaykh Hamza Yusuf, his family, his parents, grandparents, great grandparents. Like if you look at his whole they're like
Orthodox. What is it? Greek. His grandfather was an Orthodox Greek
background,
leader or something.
But it's not. Yeah, but it's not just that. It's just they're
academia.
Yeah, they're they're brilliant. I think they.
So you've got one Muslim here that's purely academia, comes from that angle. Then you've got a sports star, that's a cricket star in Pakistan, doing something for the people.
Yeah.
What is happening in your mother and father country? What is there a way out for him?
It's weird. So Imran Khan's, there's turmoil in Pakistan. They had a no confidence.
They kicked him
no
out.
confidence, they got him out of government. Then they resigned. His party resigned, and then basically now he's saying that this was a foreign interference because the Americans had told him, because he went to Russia right on the first day of the war in Ukraine. Yeah, he was there the first day when the war started, and he was basically making a deal for Pakistan, like India is, like every other country is, making sure that they have a steady and a cheap oil supply for their country. That didn't go down well with the Americans, and they decided to, this is the claim. Part of the thing that made the Americans upset is that he didn't toe the line. So he said, no, we'll look at the benefit of our people. And I think as a person, he might be jahil a lot of things of Islam. He's not I don't think we should treat him even though
he's not an alim.
He's using Islamic concepts and so forth, which is an improvement. He has some understanding. He said, but in terms of managing the country, as far as I understand, it was managed very well.
The coffers went up. The foreign
$7
reserves
billion
went up.
US dollars were left. The price of everything was, despite the supply chain issues and all the problems that are happening in the world, wars and price have gone up across the board everywhere. Try juicing in these days. It's expensive. But he I think he meant well, and he's still in the game. He started they call the long march. I don't know why they call them long marches, but
because they're not marching really long. It's just lots.
No. People started, but the current government is all a bunch of criminals. I mean, they got cases, and so now they're hiring people in government to put in the key posts of the
judiciary.
Judiciary they can't do too much, but in the other, they can actually, but the other accountability bodies and so forth, they're putting their own guys in to remove the cases against them. So they basically got a government of thieves now, and unfortunately, that's so. But they won't.
Is that you saying this, or is this a general?
No. Everybody knows.
Saying this?
Everybody knows. There's billions of dollars these people have stolen. Not millions, billions. These families, basically, there's two families, and there's more other people's.
Does the general Pakistani population?
Everybody
feel
knows.
This way?
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. It's open. These people are, and now that he wanted to do the protest, basically he's demanding an election date. That's what the demand is. Let the people decide.
Yeah.
So, and the people, the tactics that were used in the last 48 hours to stop that march to come to the capital, and they block roads. The police were really in what's that province in Punjab? They were, I think, in Sindh as well, maybe, but in Punjab, really they were doing raids on people's houses without warrants. A policeman got killed because they tried to climb over the wall of one of his party's leaders or somebody, and they shot him because he's looks like a robber coming into the house. So there's no warrant, there's no knock on the door. They were doing that. Then
so what happened to this?
If you see the videos of what the police were doing, they were brutal with the people. They were putting glass on the roads, break glass. So they put check containers on highways to block the roads. Then they put glass on it because people can't cross it.
That's hectic.
Yeah, it's been last 48 hours been really bad, but it failed. Trying to stop them. They says only 100 people, 200 people are going to come, and I mean, Imran Khan was that one of the Nawaz Sharif's daughter, the former prime minister, the one who's he's hiding in England. He's in England.
Yeah.
He was.
He's in England.
I mean, watching some of the rallies, and he was ruthless. He told her that you better stop saying. I think in one rally she used his name 100 times. Another one like 24. They had like a count. Somebody did like counts for all the videos, and she said your husband will get upset if you if you say my name so much. Anyway, then they started a storm in Pakistan, and I mean they've said much worse things. And he said that Nawaz Sharif, he went to England because he was going to die of a heart attack or something. But as soon as his plane landed,
you felt the fresh air of
England,
the UK.
and Allah gave him shifa, something along those lines. And he said we should send our doctors to study what happened. How obviously.
Yeah, but do you think? Look, is the majority? This is my question. Forget about what you see on YouTube, all these things. Is the majority of the majority of the population behind Imran Khan? Because if they are, how would these guys?
It's hard to tell.
How are they able to get in overnight and do all this?
It's hard to tell because it seems that's a whole shift in politics in Pakistan. Because you have a younger, educated
demographic. With social media. So
they will incline to his ideas. It's a big country, 220 million population. So 220 million people. It's to rally like 2 million people or 1 million people. Of course, it's going to look a lot. Like on TV and so forth. But the reality is the only way that's going to be known
is an election.
Right? That's the only thing I'm going to see. And the problem is they're putting their own people in the election commission now.
So whatever the results
I think electronic machines are being removed. Instead, they're going to go back to paper. They're doing everything to cheat. Like that's what they're preparing for now. They need enough time to cheat the current government that's in there.
So then there's no way out, really.
I think this is going to... I don't know. Like the last 2 days has been really bad. The way they try to stop the protests or people getting to the protests, there's never been so much in the history of Pakistan. So much, what do you call it? The gas that's used, tear gas. Yeah, had been used.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. They used so much they ran out, so they had to use old ones which they already passed the use by date. I didn't know that tear gas has use by date.
Okay.
It could be poisonous. I don't know. Allah is best. So. But they went crazy. I'll show it to you later. But the police went crazy in terms of attacking the protesters. Like they had the lathi, the stick.
Yeah.
Like you just watch how brutal it is.
So what is it? There's that many protesters
all over Pakistan. Yeah.
Did they get the police back?
What?
Did they retaliate with the police?
How
or
are you
they
going
just
to
ran?
retaliate?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, what's happening is what I saw, and that's probably a good sign. People had enough of it. Because I saw one, I didn't understand they were speaking Punjabi, so I don't know what they were saying. But the video of people just shouting at them, get the hell out of here. They were swearing at the police, coming in the middle of the night, disturbing us. Like the whole street came out. And I think people are realizing that they are actually the strength, right?
Yeah.
Once they decide they don't want something.
Well, it is, isn't it?
They don't want corruption anymore. They don't want foreign interference. I mean, this is what Imran Khan's two things are. That's two enemies like
of the state.
The elite, the corrupt elite of the country, that's not an easy battle to win because it's in their benefit what they're doing, and they have power and money and so forth behind resources to fight, and foreign interference. You're fighting against America. You're telling America, nah, you mind your own business. This is our country. We're an independent country. So, and this is my perception. Others could say I'm maybe naive about politics and so forth, but from my perspective, it looks like that. My father, rahimahullah, he liked him. He said he's not very knowledgeable. He doesn't know a lot of things, but his experience of living in the West and for him to he brings a certain understanding that like the rule of law. Like he emphasizes that this is about rule of law. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that. And he puts it into that hadith into context that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if my daughter Fatima radiallahu anha, she was to steal, her hand would be cut. Like there's no one above the law. This isn't a big in South Asia.
So these politicians would be without hands.
Yeah, many of them would be. But it's like in South Asia, we have a huge corrupt. It's not just Pakistan, the whole South Asia in general. They
Southeast as well.
Yeah, they have a huge corruption problem. Huge. There's like families, big families that run the show.
Well, look at the Marcos family in the Philippines.
Yeah, they're back. Yeah,
What is that?
I don't know.
And I remember
like-
watching Foreign Correspondent, and the general population, which is the young, we're digressing a little bit, but the younger population see him as a hero.
It's so stupid.
They see him as a hero, and
so dumb.
the social media campaign has been so effective that a lot of these things that are happening, that have happened in the past, they said, no, these are all lies. And this is why they say Imelda has never been locked up, because she didn't do those things she was accused of.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I remember
it
the shoe collection. Do
shocks
you remember
me.
the shoe collection and all
That's
those,
what
all
I'm
those
sa-
things?
oh,
The corruption. He was a dictator.
She
he
had
was
every collection,
yeah.
right? Like the shoe collection was the
If you
most
see
famous.
these people, when you see their faces, it makes you angry in Pakistan. Like when you look at them, I mean, I'm born outside of Pakistan. I grew up outside of Pakistan.
You're born in Brazil, so you don't really have a right to
Yes.
speak.
I have a right to speak, but I have a right to vote.
Do not? Do you actually?
Yeah, I do actually.
So do you vote?
No, I haven't voted. I didn't even know about it till now.
Okay, are you going to vote?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
You need to.
Whether but whether they allow it now or not.
And whether they'll like, you might put Imran Khan here, and then you turn out being Nawaz Sharif's best mate in Pakistan.
Yeah. So look, they're just so like their stomach never gets full, man, from stealing. these people.
How does? Yeah, because there's no barakah in that.
yeah.
So the more you want, the more you have, the more you want.
Yeah.
Because you know it's coming in the wrong way. Whether it's politicians at $1 billion levels, or whether it's somebody on this just a normal average guy that's doing whatever's getting the money in a dodgy way, it'll never be enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy come, easy go.
The rule of law thing is very important. That is like in Australia, like there's rule of law. That's why like they treat, and he said that hadith, and it's very interesting that previous nation destroyed because they punished their poor ones.
Wow.
And they didn't punish their rich, their wealthy. So that is the situation of our
But
countries.
these guys are not going to give up easily. If they go down, they're going to go down kicking and screaming.
Oh yeah, that's what they're doing now. They know he's basically turned the country now. He's like they're awake, now. You know, I saw a sign someone holding. He goes, the more deeper the sleep is, the more angrier when they wake up. So he goes, they're angry now. They've been in a deep slumber. So it's a good sign. I mean, hopefully they wake up to deen as well. I mean that's more important. But it's sometimes...
No, but you know, what you're saying there, they wake up to deen. I understand that part.
Yeah.
But when you see these protests and the way these guys are talking, but their yaqeen is we are Muslim.
Yeah. We will not tolerate foreigners, Americans telling
pretty
us
full on.
what to do.
Yeah,
That's
it's not just a matter of okay, we're Muslim. This is like no, we are Muslims and we are.
Yeah. We refuse to like submit to a foreign.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge.
That's a
huge
big step for the
awakening.
country.
That's a huge
Just
awakening.
that in itself is the pride. Actually, the pride of being a Muslim.
Yeah,
That's
and
a
we're
big step for the
independent and
country.
we can make our own decisions. We don't need you to tell us. We don't need some guy in the what's that department in the US, the
State Department.
State Department, dictating to one of our
But
ambassadors.
is that what happened? Like,
Well, this is the claim, right?
yeah, so that's a separate
triggered.
issue.
Behind it, of course, the US. If you remember the WikiLeaks, what was that when they the cables that when they were leaked. If you see the type of meetings that they have at all levels of society, you know,
Well, Assange is still paying for it.
yeah, exactly. So that's you know, speaking of elections, I mean,
Elbow.
yeah, the extreme LGBT supporter.
No.
Yeah, he is. Have you read his bio?
Okay.
Just go and give.
But that's one part of it. But let's look at everything else. Do you think that like a lot of media commentators, stuff that I've read, people were just tired?
It was just because of
I don't hold a
ScoMo.
hose, mate. That's what ScoMo. I believe ScoMo lost him the election.
Yeah, he lost them the election.
If they had another leader, even Peter Dutton,
I don't think so.
right? No,
He just
maybe
looks
not.
evil. He's like he's the guy from Harry Potter.
Yeah, but did you see what happened the other day? I think Tanya Pilbasek, she had to apologise
Why?
because she compared him to Lord Voldemort. Right.
Yeah, he just
And Albert came out and said, "You got to be like, sorry, mate."
So what's happened for those from overseas? We just had an election, voted last week. So Labor and Liberal. Labor's the left.
Has Imran Khan ever said, "I don't
Liberal,
hold a hose, mate"?
Liberal is to the
right.
to the right.
Far right.
Not right. They're not far right. They're
Right.
right.
Most of who is in power right now is
No,
far
no,
right.
now, but Scope general liberal.
Are you saying ScoMo wasn't far right?
Liberal is like right.
Yeah.
But don't compare it to the right and left of American politics.
Very different.
It's a Australian sort of.
And don't the name liberal is not what
Americans
the rest of the world
probably don't
thinks
understand
of
this.
as liberal.
Liberals, yeah. So liberals are conservatives
In Australia.
in Australia, and we don't have the issues like America, but like
And we don't have red and blue. Oh, we do have red and blue,
Yeah.
Liberal and Labor, but
no, what are you
it's
talking
not.
about? Yeah.
No, but it's not as defined along party lines as America.
There's very little difference between the two. But the Conservatives, the Liberal Party, like the two good things that they had, one was they were taking up the issue of religious discrimination bill, which was important for Muslims and religious organizations. That's probably on the back burner now. I don't think that'll come forward. Maybe it can come forward, but because of less seats and all that sort of stuff, a lot of them that's even going to get anywhere. So that's basically protects religious organizations. Some guy decides to start bringing the rainbow flag to your Islamic school. You can't against the ethos of your mosque or Islamic organization or whatever, do something else that's provocative, like not provocative, but anti-Islamic. Then that person will be, like you're not protected as an organization if you sack them or something like that. Like you can't uphold your own ethos. That's unfortunately
Is that the case though? I don't think that's the case. I don't think.
Have a look. What the religious discrimination bill means. Like, have a look at what it means.
I'm gonna have I'll have a read of it.
Yeah. So it protects religious organisation from the rainbow people. The second thing was on the bill.
You've been watching Ricky Gervais and Dave Chappelle, haven't you?
And the second.
Why do you keep touching my foot? You're enjoying that, aren't you? And you talk about rainbow people to me.
Stuff. So the second thing was Liberal did take a strong stance against China, while Labor is seen as
historically. You cannot say Labor does not take
Dan
a
Andrews.
strong
No. Dan Andrews, who shut the Belt and Road thing. Liberal.
Okay.
The federal government is Liberal. They shut it down in Victoria. The inroads the Chinese were making into thing, and then they took a stance. And
they didn't do much in the Pacific though. Look what's happening with Solomon Islands.
No, there's still negotiation. There's still negotiation, but
we're not with Solomons.
Solomons is not part of Australia. It's an independent country.
Yeah, but however, it is our backyard. We had no relation. I don't think we had a foreign minister visit Solomons visited it once or twice in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So that was a shutdown. That was basically.
Anyway, it was a disaster of an election for Liberals.
And independence, the Teal independence came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so Teal basically they're like conservatives.
Are you giving an election?
Teal is like green plus liberal.
Yeah, blue. That's
so
right.
They're conservative.
So they're liberals.
Greens,
that's right. They're liberals. That because these Teal independents, even they used to vote Liberal in the past. So Teal independents are liberals that have gone a little bit towards the green.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the other way around. You said they're conservative greens.
That's what I'm saying. Like summarizing the teal. Teal is a color that is a combination between green and blue.
And what spice does it? What Indian spice does it look like?
Yeah, and that's another thing about nutrients. It's about the colors, a variety of colors you have. The more nutrient. Anyway,
oh my god, you actually went there.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. Allah protect.
Green's
Muslims.
got a few more seats as well.
Yeah, I mean, in
balance of power now, I think, isn't it?
No, they don't. Labor,
did Labor get 76 seats?
They're about to.
No,
they will get.
They're still being counted.
There will be a major. No, they don't need. They're only one seat short of majority, like by themselves.
I like our boy, man.
Yeah,
I like our boy.
Okay,
he's salt of the earth, grown up, doing it hard. I genuinely.
His whole life has been a politician.
No, but I genuinely.
Like
but he was
Labor youth.
Have you seen his? He was an anarchist.
Yeah. This is what. Have you seen some of his?
It's amazing.
No, right? It's not. It's terrible.
But he's now chilled out.
Communism supporter. Communism supporter.
No, I love democracy. Like how good is
even when communists come to power.
How good is the fact you cannot call communists? Right. That's just wrong. But how good is the fact that we can go to an election, we have an outcome where the people have voted? That's what Pakistan needs right now. But they're not doing that. Rule of law. in terms of democracy.
Oh
in
yeah,
terms of
it's
voting.
like it's voting here.
What,
like,
whichever
I'm not
way it
sure
went, it's amazing.
I'm not sure in other countries, but in Australia, just like you just type in your phone, check where the local go to your local
Why are you
church.
being so defensive as soon as
Local
I said,
church, no, because it's a bit cold.
Pakistan needs to.
A local church or school or whatever, wherever they hold their election, you just go there and line up in a queue and do your vote, and they have the electoral roll. They cross your name off it. It's very it's very mundane. It's a mundane affair. And those guys at the entrance, no, I already decided. Please, I already decided. Thank you.
Oh yeah, some people take all of them, so nobody finds out who they voted
liberal,
for.
Sorry, thank you.
I went with one brother. He was so funny. I went with brother. We did early voting, and he's an older gentleman, ethnic persuasion. And it wasn't my dad, right? And I go,
yeah,
and I go, okay, so did you look at whose policies or anything, or, which party you want to vote? He's trying to, and he goes, Labour. Right, that was it.
Yeah.
There was no
generally
thought
Muslims
processes.
Generally, Muslims in Australia vote Labor. For those who don't know, generally that's from many.
Do they?
Generally, they do because the blue collar background, unions, all that sort of stuff.
That's what I mean. This is where I think. Look, everyone's got good points and bad points. Australia just got tired of ScoMo and the election process.
ScoMo is our. I've got to explain because
he was
ScoMo is our
Achilles
former Prime Minister Scott Morrison.
And 6 weeks. First of all, he took bloody ages to call. Excuse the French. Ages to call the election, and then once he's called it, it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks of campaigning. I think people were just exhausted.
His main 6 weeks compared to US like 2 years. Imagine that.
I can't. I couldn't do that. I would just be like, what the hell?
His trouble started with the sex scandals in that's where it first regarding. That was the first. No, that was the first thing. The second thing was when he was
Hawaii.
While the country's burning, we had one of the worst bushfires, in 50 years or something like that. And he was in Hawaii having a holiday because he worked hard. That was the explanation.
He was spending time. Look, that I get because he was spending time with his family. As a politician, you never get time. So over that period of time,
but it didn't go down well when he came back.
No, it didn't go down well. Look, on that note,
the other day, someone at the booth, I don't know who it was, as an actor or somebody, he was dressed up as ScoMo when he was on his holiday, the same shirt and flower, the flower wreath, whatever, on his head. And
look, the optics were wrong. I think it was wrong. Probably not the best thing for him to be in Hawaii at that time. However, you can imagine, that's when his kids have got school holidays, just taking a week off.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. It was delaying coming back.
Yeah.
That got him, and saying, I don't hold a hose, mate.
I don't even know that. I don't know. Hold
during an interview.
What do you mean hold a hose?
Like fire hose, because you were away. Didn't you think you were needed here? And his response was, I don't know.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh,
right.
Okay. I mean, he bumbled up. He stuffed up a few times.
And then you have Tony Abbott. I don't mind. Tony Abbott is, for whatever his flaws are, the guy volunteers for the CFA.
Like his budgie smugglers.
Oh, yeah, like that. I want to see you and your budgie smugglers with the before and after photo.
I mean,
red ones, no blue ones.
Let's keep going. All right. We started with Ramadan, and I don't know where we ended up.
Shaykh Khalid's budgie smugglers.
Astaghfirullah. All right, where are we now? Yeah, that's it, man. That's it for the night tonight. What a way to end off.
Are you seriously going to end on your budgie smugglers?
No, we're going to cut this out.
No, you can't. You can't. Yeah. Right? No, but look, I think...
I said it. That was my fault. Anyway.
You can't cut this out. Right, but look, at the end of the day, I feel this is where they really fell down. Like the other day, just in Josh Frydenberg's electorate, Kuyong, the treasurer lost his seat. Think about what a big deal that is.
Yeah.
And
it's crying.
Right? It's pretty full on. That's pretty full on.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the things, I was listening to the radio, and they were saying that, they were talking about why he lost it and how come the other independents or the Greens and Labour got such a little vote. So they only got 2 or 3%. And then one of the people that lives in Kuyong texted in going, we knew this was such an important election. Instead of voting for any other party, we all went for the one that's got the biggest chance of getting him out, which was Monique Ryan. So it was definitely an interesting election. I think it's also put the major political parties on notice to say, no, the people are going to now look carefully at what you do.
Yeah.
And we are going to consider what you do. The amount of, there's 8, 10, whatever independents now.
Yeah, but they don't have,
that's a lot.
but they are on, if Labor's got majority, Labor doesn't need anybody to make a government.
Yeah, but they don't need balance of power.
Yeah.
The fact that 8 or 10 of them are there is showing you better listen to us. Otherwise, next election, you won't have the balance of power.
Interesting.
Right? So that's one of the things that I've picked up from this whole process is there's been a shift in Australia to, before it was okay, you vote Labor, Liberal, Greens.
Yeah.
That was it. Now people are actually taking into consideration, all right, what is my electorate want?
It seems to be more nuanced.
It is. What is my electorate want?
You can be conservative, fiscally conservative and so forth.
But climate change is a thing for you.
Yeah.
Or, the integrity ICAC is a thing for you.
Yeah, the ICAC thing is like, I don't get how Liberal can justify not...
sports rorts, mate. Imagine ICAC comes in and then starts looking at everything that's going on. Imagine how much has happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That they're so afraid of an ICAC.
Yeah. So ICAC's like the national, what is it? The
Integrity Commission.
Yeah, to check corruption of politicians. Now it's there at state levels, in some states, I think.
Look what's happened in New South Wales.
Yeah,
that was the end of Gladys.
Yeah, the Premier of New South Wales. So that's the thing, and Liberal resisted that for obvious reasons,
Or not so obvious reasons.
Now Liberal.
he called it a kangaroo court.
Now there's something coming in my heart against Liberal.
Like, think about how much they resisted it.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is and ScoMo just kept saying, look, we've put that forward, but Labor didn't agree. But they didn't put it in Parliament. He just tabled it. All right, which means, all right, this is something we're thinking about. But they couldn't do independent reviews. They couldn't do open reviews. There were so many.
You're going to have a national ICAC now for sure.
Well, Albo's guaranteed it by the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. With the independents, with the others.
Yeah. And that's what the platform the independents and Labor ran on was climate change and ICAC.
Yeah, the climate. The other issue was about the First Nations.
That's the first thing he said in his speech. Good on him.
Like
voice to Parliament.
What did he say? It's going to be recognise
from the Uluru Statement from the Heart, they're going to recognise a voice within the Australian Constitution, within the Parliament.
Yeah.
So they'll be represented, which is a long time coming.
The First Nations are like people that were here before.
40,000 years before anyone else.
Yeah, but they were here and before like...
They didn't go anywhere with that.
What? No, they were here before Captain Cook came.
Okay. Leave it at that. Okay, not. Okay, right.
But so they'll have, I guess, and then the first minister... There'll be a minister for Aboriginal Affairs.
Yeah, there has always been a minister.
No, but she's herself is a...
No, the last one was Aboriginal.
Oh, it was
okay. It's First Nations now, but the last, even the Liberal minister for, First Nations Affairs or whatever you want to call it was Aboriginal background.
Yeah. All right, that's like progress, I guess.
It's huge progress, but if it happens.
Yeah.
Right, you've got a lot of people, a lot of First Nation people from all around Australia that were not consulted for the Uluru Statement of the Heart. And there's this dissension of, well, that doesn't represent me. So that's a new thing that's coming out of the woodwork. Like us, we have a Mufti of Australia, but
a consultation with everybody.
We have a Mufti of Australia, but for me, on a personal level, I'm like, well, I don't know if that guy represents me.
Yeah. Right. Like, you don't follow me in anything.
Yeah, I mean, most Muslims, I don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see how it plays out.
The Uluru Statements of Muslim Hearts of the Mufti of Australia.
No, that's the Auburn Mosque Statement from the heart.
Yeah, that's a Lakimba statement.
Auburn's a much better looking mosque.
Yeah. Oh,
the Turks did a good job with it.
The Gallipoli statement.
Yeah, the Gallipoli Masjid. This the Gallipoli Statement of the Heart. Right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. However, look, it was time for a change. That's how I feel. It was time for a change. You see how on the day of the election, and now they're going to do an investigation into it. The Prime Minister's office released a statement of a Sri Lankan boat that was intercepted.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that? Department of Home Affairs never does this while there's an actual operation ongoing. So they were
They're already on the way back.
Nah, that was
already
day
on the
one.
way.
That was day one of the thing.
Yeah. It just to show that Labor's the same.
No, this was to show
Isn't it? Yeah.
that the Liberals, this is what we're doing to keep Australian borders safe. Vote Liberal, so the boats
But that
don't
was
keep
after.
coming.
That was after the election.
No,
It was under Labor's. It's the first boat being sent. No, there was a boat sent back on under Labor watch now.
Bro, I'm talking about the day of the election.
But who started the boat buyback scheme?
I have no idea.
Labor.
Was it?
Yeah. So they're as bad as each other. I mean, that's good. Protect the borders. Keep,
I agree with that. Like
keep the
Sri Lankans out. Sorry to all our Sri Lankan viewers and friends.
No. I mean, keep. Like, I mean, you have to have a reasonable border policy. You can't just have open borders.
Well, if you have open borders, it'll be chaos.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a systematic way of.
But at the same
coming
time, you can't. Another big thing that Labor's done today, the Biloela family.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
That's a
the
good
Sri
thing for
Lankan
that family.
They,
mashallah.
they came to Australia. They were in detention center. These kids
4 years, 2018.
They grew up born, I think, inside the detention center. Then Biloela is a town in
Where
central Queensland. I've been there to Biloela. Actually, it's an interesting town. We stayed in the caravan park. I swear this caravan park is from the 50s. It was like it was a refugee camp. No. You haven't seen anything. I've seen a lot of rundown thing, but this was something else. Those brothers living there, Burmese Rohingya brothers. They were living there at the time, and they we were there the day they started the Musalla to do Taraweeh. We were there in Ramadan.
In the caravan park?
No, there was a shop that they hired.
Okay.
They themselves live in a caravan park, but they hired this shop and made it nice. And there was no electricity, so we had a Taraweeh by candlelight, and it was a very, very romantic. But Allah reward them, mashallah. So I actually been to that town.
Yeah, so inshallah they'll go back home, which is good.
Yeah.
People are looking forward to it. So I breathed a sigh of relief. I don't know why. It just felt different.
Nah, I'm worried about the religious discrimination thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm just scared of the rainbow people coming in Jummah.
Well, putting up a flag, but you have no flags. Look, if you've got no flags, why are you putting that flag up?
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, let's Allah protect the ummah from the misguided policies of Labor. But and their communist tendencies.
Oh, bro, please, man. Far from it.
Yeah. So
me personally, greens all the way, mate. I was gonna come today with my hair in a rainbow color.
They'll never be in power.
Oh, you'll be surprised. the psyche of Australia is changing. It may not be in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Where they'll end up. Think about it.
They're going to tank the economy with their green policies,
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, like they stuffed up with the coal, and now
they didn't stuff up with the coal. How did they stuff up with the coal?
There's blackouts and
Nah, I'm sorry, but we have got. I'm a firm believer in renewables. We're not going to get into this because that's another podcast in itself.
We'll talk about anyway. Allah guide.
Or everyone.
Protect us from the
Allah guide protect everyone.
The evil of Labor.
Politicians.
Labor.
No, not Labor.
I mean, if they have shut
all of them, from all of them.
Yeah, inshallah.
Right? Not just Labor or Greens.
All right, let's call it a night. Inshallah.
All right, Jazakallah khair. Thank you for watching. This was a bit quite interesting. I hope you've forgotten some of the mental images that we've painted for you. Jazakallah khair. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Wait, that is to like, right?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.